It is 31 days till the man burns, and today we're talking about what not to bring to Burning Man. Burning Man releases a list of banned items every year, things that you should not bring, and if you do bring them, they will be confiscated at the gate, or you will be sent off to go and get rid of those things before you are allowed entry. And along with the list of things that are completely banned, they have a list of things that are it's advised that you don't bring those things along with you because they tend to be problematic. Black Rock Desert is part of the National Conservation Area. It is protected by the Bureau of Land Management and the National Landscape Conservation System. In other words, it is super well protected, it is very treasured, it is a natural resource, and Burning Man tries very hard to make sure that there is no impact from Burning Man occurring there on the environment. And it is surprisingly easy to impact that environment. Something that is as small as like a piece of glitter can impact the environment, and glitter is banned. And on top of that, there's just the event itself and the environment, which just makes it unsuitable for some things. Vehicles are banned, kind of. Firstly, art cars, mutant vehicles, those type of things, they all have to be registered and approved and, all of that good stuff. And so obviously if you've gone through that process, then, your vehicle can be roaming around. And I assume part of that process, explains to you the rules of getting around and where you can and cannot go. But for the rest of us, even though you can obviously drive into Burning Man and drive to wherever you're going to be camping, once you have driven there and parked up, your vehicle should not be moving for the rest of Burning Man until you come to leave. There is no hopping in your car or on your motorbike and going from A to B and back again. That's what bicycles are for. You can cycle around on your bicycle. You cannot drive around in a car or on a motorbike or whatever kind of vehicle you have. There are some exceptions to that, especially, if you are disabled or something and you need something to be able to get around in. But ultimately, cars, motorbikes, things like that, you are not allowed to be driving them around inside of Burning Man. Just, park them up and leave them where they are. Potentially moopy things are also banned. Some are banned, some are not banned, some have certain restrictions on them. If you don't know what moop is, it is matter out of place. So it's anything that gets left behind in the Black Rock Desert that was not there before. Absolutely everything that you bring with you should be leaving with you. But there are plenty of things that you can bring along that can unintentionally leave moop in places that is very, very hard to find. Like glitter. How are you going to find any glitter that falls off of you if you are wearing glittery makeup or something? It's going to be impossible, so it's just completely banned. So along with glitter, confetti, sequins, astroturf, old carpets, frayed fabrics, stick-on gems, false eyelashes, dead or alive plants. Plant life will break up and kind of moop itself around. Feathers, like I say, some of this stuff is banned, some of it is just kind of inadvisable. I'm pretty sure that feathers are no longer banned, but there are restrictions on them. If you're bringing anything that has feathers, then they have to be really well attached. They have to be super secure. And they have to be the kind of feathers where they're not just gonna disintegrate and blow around in the breeze. Cheap feather boas and stuff. Those are probably not going to be allowed in because the feathers and the fluff on them just tends to disattach itself from the boa and end up all over the place. So if you are planning to bring something with feathers on it, make sure that they are really well attached. And if the gate staff tell you that you cannot bring that in, that they're going to have to confiscate it or dispose of it or whatever they do with confiscated items, then respect that. They have to make a judgment call on how much moop they think that thing is going to create. And if they think it's going to create too much, then they're just not going to let it in. If you do bring something in and you find that it is causing a problem with moop, then deal with that situation as quickly as possible. So tie it up in bin bags or something, pop it in your vehicle, get it somewhere where it's not able to continue to disintegrate or fall apart and create moop. Firearms are also banned. You cannot bring firearms into Burning Man. And that includes things like, BB guns, air pellet guns, paintball guns, any type of gun. You cannot bring it in. Do not bring it along with you. I believe that with guns, if you bring a gun along with you, then it will be confiscated at the gate and that they have a secure gun locker to put those things in. But I am not 100% sure about that. I am not sure if they will just send you off to go and deposit your gun somewhere appropriate before you come back and are allowed in. So if you have a gun, it is best to just leave it at home. Lasers are also banned. Many lasers now, they're super strong. They're enough to blind people or cause some kind of damage. If you have an art installation or a theme camp or something that involves lasers, then you actually have to get some kind of approval for those lasers. And for the rest of us, handheld lasers, things like that, they're just out. Find another way to light things up because lasers are banned. Fireworks are also banned, and that includes, rockets, flares, any kind of like explosive thing that's gonna go bang. Fireworks create a lot of moop when they explode, all of the kind of stuff that comes off them just like sprinkles back down onto the player ground, and it's a moop nightmare to clean up. Some art installations and things like that, they may have fireworks, but again, it is something that is very strictly regulated and they have to get everything approved, all of the fireworks they're going to be using. So, if you are planning to use fireworks as like part of something you are bringing to Burning Man, then you will need to go through that process to get them all approved. And for the rest of us, no fireworks, but we can just sit back and enjoy, other people's fireworks, the people that have gone to the effort to get them approved. Glass is not a banned item, but it is one of those items that's kind of on the, it would be better if you didn't bring very much glass with you. Because obviously, if you smash glass, it is a moop nightmare. It is a nightmare to clean up all of those tiny shards and the kind of glass dust that can be created from smashing glass. And it could end up injuring people. If you drop some glass and you don't manage to clean it up straight away, or you don't manage to clean it up properly, then someone could end up getting injured by it. It's generally better to bring along like canned stuff. If it's like beer bottles and you have a choice between beer bottles and cans of beer, then cans are a better choice because they actually have like a recycle camp at Burning Man where you can like crush all of your cans. But I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of prefer beer in a bottle. Like somehow it just tastes nicer. Even if it's the same brand and you know that the beer in the can is exactly the same as the one in the bottle, somehow the bottled beer just tastes nicer. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, you can bring things that are glass, but try and limit the amount of glass that you are bringing. Don't bring things like wine glasses and stuff, which are very fragile and easy to smash. Maybe if you do want your beer in a bottle or you want bottles of wine or something, that glass tends to be very thick. It's not particularly fragile. It does take a bit of effort to, smash one of those kinds of bottles. But yeah, just try and limit the amount of glass that you bring. Try and pay attention to kind of how fragile the glass that you're bringing is. And have a plan for if it does smash so that, you are able to clean it up. If that happens, you have whatever tools that you need. And, don't be like unnecessarily dragging a load of glass stuff around with you if you kind of don't need to be. Stowaways are banned, and they are quite dramatically banned now. If you come to Burning Man with a stowaway in your vehicle, if you're trying to smuggle someone in that does not have a ticket and you get caught by gate staff, then no one in that vehicle is getting in. And I actually read somewhere that it's slightly more dramatic than that. So if your group is coming in multiple vehicles and your vehicle actually contains like a load of the stuff that your group needs, your vehicle is not going in. You're not even allowed to bring your vehicle in to drop things off to exit. Burning Man are really trying to crack down on people sneaking in and stowaways. And it's really just not worth bringing them along. I know that it sucks if you didn't get enough tickets for your whole group and maybe there's one or two people that cannot come along because of that. But if you try and smuggle them in, you could end up with everybody not going or everybody in that vehicle not being able to go. Animals are banned at Burning Man. You cannot bring your pet with you. You might think that your dog would absolutely love a trip to Burning Man, but Burning Man does not think that your dog would like that trip so much. A lot of animals, they do not cope well in environments where there is a lot of noise and activity and fire and all of these kind of things. There are also a lot of potential health concerns for your pet. If you bring your dog, they are walking around and rolling around in alkaline player dust. We all wear boots and stuff to stop getting player foot. It's going to be very difficult to get your dog to wear some boots the whole time they're there and prevent them from just like rolling around or laying in player dust. Likewise with dehydration, for humans, we are able to communicate that we are dehydrated and we are able to rectify that ourselves. It's much more difficult for an animal to communicate that they're dehydrated. And there is no medical help available for animals at Burning Man. So, if you brought your pet along and something happened to them, it would be very difficult to get them the medical attention that they would need. They're just banned. If you try and bring your pet along, then you will be sent away at the gate to go and put your pet somewhere appropriate, which most likely means like heading back to Reno to go and do that. And then once you've dropped your pet off somewhere appropriate, you will have to make the long drive back to be allowed into Burning Man. Drugs are also banned, even though it doesn't specifically appear in the list of banned items. But to be fair, there are many things that do not appear in that list that, are illegal things to have. And when gate staff carry out searches, they are looking for, a majority of the kind of things that are banned that I've listed. And drugs isn't really one of them. It's not something they are specifically looking for. But they are illegal and law enforcement are often at the gate or somewhere nearby the gate. And people do get pulled over and searched by law enforcement. Obviously, they do need some kind of probable cause to do that. You know, as part of like your ticket and the terms and conditions, you are agreeing to let gate staff search your vehicle, but you are not specifically agreeing to allow law enforcement to do it out of the bounds of the law of them being able to do that. Law enforcement are also now able to ask you to submit to drug or alcohol testing if they suspect that you have been drinking or taking drugs and you are operating a vehicle. And they often have the dog units with them, the canine unit. So, you know, if you bring drugs along, there is the potential that you will get into trouble. There is the potential you will get fined, that you will end up with a criminal record, that you could end up getting arrested. So, you know, while they are not specifically listed as a banned item, there are some pretty dramatic potential consequences from bringing drugs to Burning Man. Remember that if you do have certain items, you know, in some cases those items will just be confiscated and maybe disposed of. In some cases, you know, like with firearms, I'm not 100% sure, but you know, maybe they'll be confiscated and when you exit, you will be able to claim that item back. But in some cases, you will be sent away to go and deal with whatever it is that you have that you are not supposed to have. And the closest communities are very small. So, you know, if you have bought a pet, these small communities, they probably do not have the facilities of somewhere where you would be able to leave your pet. You are talking about heading, you know, all the way back to Reno to go and deal with the situation. That's like a long drive and then a long drive back. It's really much easier to just not bring anything that you are not supposed to have. You know, make it easy for gate staff, make it easy for yourself so you can just like get in and start having fun. Make sure that you check in the survival guide as well or over on the Burning Man website for the list of banned items because it does change. Like I said with feathers, at one point they were banned, now they're kind of not entirely banned, they're just like a restricted item. So have a check before you go and just make sure, you know, that nothing has been added or removed from the list. So I hope this is helpful, guys. If any of the rest of you know of any other banned items or restricted items or things you just shouldn't be bringing with you, then let us know in the comments below. And if you see me at Burning Man this year, feel free to come and say hi to me. Bye, guys.